something for him.
Yeah. So I'm running the meeting, full show here from me, and I have some updates from Jeff that I'll present kind of at the end of the meeting, and hopefully it's straightforward enough that we don't have to defer too much, but we will see as we move through.
Cool.
Yeah.
Boy, I think this is the shortest agenda I've ever seen.
Yeah, it rivals some of the shorter ones, so it's good. Keep our fingers crossed.
You never know. Just when we think the HCC meeting, a particular meeting is really short, nope. Somehow it goes, the short ones go on forever.
Yeah, well, I have to say, well, it's 5 o'clock now, but in the teacher world, it's literally December 39th right now, like alternate universe of time. So, I know how things can go off the rails.
Very quickly.
Yeah. All right, everybody. So it is just after 5 o'clock. I want to welcome everybody to the December 16th Nantucket Conservation Commission meeting. This meeting is being held entirely remote via Zoom app, and the public is welcome to participate, commenting through the Town of Nantucket, YouTube channel. Again, and there's directions on the town website about how you may join and comment there. I want to remind everybody to please mute your phone or your device when you're not speaking so that you're not picked up by the recording. I also want to remind individuals not to screen share unless requested, as anything you screen share might be captured by the recording. It will be a little different tonight, as I am going to ask the presenters to screen share their plans because it'll be difficult for me to run. But with that, I think we have 6 of our members on, so we're ready to begin. The following items are continued this evening. Under notices of intent, we have Lower Pacamo Nominee Trust at 88 Pacamo Road, continued until January 6th. We have Pacamo Point Realty Trust at 90 Pacamo Road, continued until January 6th. And then we have the Land Bank at 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, and 15A Myacomet Road, continued until January 6th. Under amended orders of conditions, we have Rabel at 141 Cliff Road, continued until January 6th. That is it for our continuances. So I will open it up tonight with public comment on items not being heard this evening. I know we already have some public comment from Burton Balkind. So I will just read in his comments for the record. He says, for any items not on the agenda, his comment is in regards to the proposed 20,000 cubic yards of sand SBPF is going to put on the geotubes to come back into compliance. He would ask the commission in any order of conditions it sets that there always be mitigation sand at the toe of the geotubes. We can have as much sand as the template can hold on the top of the geotubes, but the mitigation sand does no good on the top of the template. He says, I believe SBPF should be required to keep enough sand in the front of the tubes so that there should be no times or very little times that the toe of the geotubes are exposed. And he says, thank you very much. So thank you, Burton, for your comments. We will definitely take them into consideration when hearing this item. So if there are no other public comment at this point, we will open with notices of intent. We have Spencer at 3 Fulling Mill Road, represented by Brian Madden.
Apologies, I had sent in a late continuance request to the 6th. Sorry about that.
Okay, no problem. So 3 Fulling Mill Road will continue until January 6th.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you. And we will begin with NIR Retail LLC at 4 Harbor Square. And we have Catherine Barnacle on for this one.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Katie Barnacle with ILEX Environmental, and I'm representing NIR, or Nantucket Island Realty LLC. And the project is Straight Wharf Fish. It's also the building down on Straight Wharf where there used to be a ice cream store. And I do have the subdivision plan of 4 Harbor Square in case anyone wants to see location wise where exactly it is. And I also have the footprint. So I guess let me know if you want me to share that.
Yeah, why don't you give it at least a brief screen share so that the public can see? That would be great.
Okay. Do you see some cross-hatching buildings?
Yes, we can see
Okay.
the crosshatch plan.
So this is Straight Wharf at the bottom here, and here's the gazebo. I think everyone knows where the gazebo is, and there are a lot of buildings on Harbor Square, but it's building 11. We're the building tucked into the corner here next to some residential areas. This is where the ice cream place used to be. And this is Straight Wharf Fish. That's the name of the project. And the project is, well, first, the project is in floodplain, and it's within the 100-foot buffer zone of coastal bank and land under the ocean. And the work is just maintenance and repair of the building. So there'll be exterior work like shingling, maybe some new doors and windows, a little bit of work just to make sure that the doors are accessible. And then just pretty much, you know, the exterior type of shingling, minor repair work. And that's pretty much the project. The footprint remains the same. The height remains the same. There's really no exterior changes. Most of the changes will be in the interior for new kitchen facilities and restaurant facilities. So it's pretty much a redevelopment. I do have a closer footprint of the building, but I think this pretty much shows it all. There is seating under an overhang roof here right by the bulkhead. So you can walk down in here and it's open to the public to go in there. So we're in the floodplain, and that's why we're filing the notice of intent. There is a file number, and I think that's it. I'd love to hear if the commission has any questions or concerns.
Thank you, Katie.
Thank you.
So if you want, you can take the screen share off. I think we've seen all we need to see. Thank you.
Okay, yeah.
And at this point too, I just want to announce to the public, because I'm going to have trouble running the YouTube at the same time. Anyone who has public comment, you can begin typing into YouTube while the commission is getting their comments and questions out. And then Linda, I saw your hand raised for a comment or question.
I believe there's going to be some foundation work. I just want to make sure that's part of your application. I know there's some repair that's being, when you say repair, it's not just to the shingles and the roof and the windows, which need severe help. But I believe there's some foundation repair work also, and I just want to make sure that that is contained within your presentation.
Yeah, and they're actually doing some more exploratory work of the extent. So if it results in any additional work more than what was included in the notice of intent, I spoke with Jeff today about coming in for an amended notice of intent. So it's anticipated there'll be some foundation work, but probably on the interior, nothing on the exterior. But again, if we find something, because you know, sometimes when you get in the middle of a project, you don't know what you're going to find until you're in the middle of it. Then we'll, you know, come in front of the commission and figure out what to do then. But right now, minimal exterior work, mostly on the interior.
Thank you, Katie, and thank you, Linda, for your questions. Any other questions or comments from commissioners? Looks like no, so I will just give the public a check. It looks like we do not have public comment on this one. I know staff says that we have everything we would, oh, Mark?
Hey, thank you, Ashley. Just for my benefit, as one of my ice cream hangouts, dare I ask what's going to be there?
It's going to be a fish market and restaurant. So I'm sorry. I'm sure you can order some ice cream, but it's probably not going to be quite what it was before. There probably will be still exterior seating, to eat out there, because that's one of the nice benefits of that site. Sorry.
Thank you, Katie.
We want Star's ice cream back.
You're breaking my heart.
Yeah.
Sweet tooths will have to go elsewhere. So if there are no other questions or comments, I know staff thinks we have everything we need to close this one. So Katie, would you like to close?
Yes, please. I request that the hearing be closed.
I'll
So
make that
moved.
motion. Second.
So I'll give Mark the motion and Linda the second. So by roll vote, Beal,
Aye.
Engelborg,
Aye.
Arisman, I, Golding,
Aye.
Phillips,
Aye.
Williams.
Aye.
All right, that carries unanimously.
Great.
Thank you, Katie.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Bye. And that moves us on to Sampson at 14 Aurora Way, represented by Art Gasparo.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Would you like me to share my screen of the plan?
Yes, that would be great, Art.
Okay, can everyone see that?
Yes, we can see.
So I'm before you tonight with a notice of intent application for work within the buffer zone to vegetated wetlands, which were delineated by Brian Madden of LEC, shown on the plan in the thick blue line. The work is residential development of an existing vacant lot, which will be served by town sewer. The shown in red are the 25, 50, and 100-foot wetland buffer zones. We have maintained a limit of work and proposed edge of lawn around the 38-foot line, so as to preserve the 50% between the 25 and 50-foot buffers. We're using a crawl space foundation so as to remain 2 feet above estimated seasonal high groundwater, and minimal landscaping, some lawn and stepping stones, a small portion of the driveway just inside of the 100. And I'd be happy to take questions or concerns that you may have with the application.
Thank you, Art. And I think you can stop the screen share now.
Sure thing.
Okay, so at this point, if any members of the public are watching, feel free to comment on YouTube about 14 Aurora Way. And at this point, I'll open it up to comments or questions from commissioners. If there are any comments or questions, please raise your hand. Looks like there's no comments from commissioners at this point. We also have a quiet public. I know we did have a letter, I believe, written about this site from a butter. Am I thinking of the correct one? Asking about water flow, Art. I don't know if you can speak to his questions.
Sure. He may not have, we did see the letter. I have forwarded it on to the owner. He, I believe, intends to reach out to his neighbor, express to me that he certainly wants to be a good neighbor. A butter who wrote the letter perhaps, wasn't aware that this was going to be a crawl space. I believe some of the other neighbors may have full basements with some pumps. And then this property does gently slope down towards the wetland at the back of this property. So that's where, surface flow would go. And I believe that the wetland would be well protected by a 38-foot, vegetated, undisturbed buffer zone from that.
Thank you, Art. And it does appear we have public comment on this one. Burton Balkine writes, can the footprint of the house be smaller as to not infringe on the 50-foot buffer? Art?
It does not infringe on the 50-foot buffer. You could notice that the deck is pretty narrow because the design they originally gave me had a deck into the 50, and I told them the chances of that being approved by you are fairly slim. So I'm not sure how the interpretation is, perhaps that, but there's no structural elements in the 50 proposed.
Thank you, Art. Well, at this point, if there are no questions or comments from commissioners, I know staff says we have everything we need to close. So Art, would you like to close?
Yes, please.
Is
I'll
there
make that motion.
I think Ian got you. Ian, will you
Second.
make that motion?
I did.
Okay, and Linda, I'll give you the second. So by roll vote, Beal,
Aye.
Engelborg,
Aye.
Arisman, I, Golding,
Aye.
Phillips,
Aye.
Williams.
Aye.
Right, that carries unanimously. Thank you, Art.
Thank you.
So we have no amended orders this evening. We also do not have requests for determination. So we'll move on in the public meeting to minor modifications. We have Cedar Viewpoint LLC at 40 Sacamo Road, represented by Brian Madden.
Thank you very much. Would you like me to share my screen?
That would be great. Thank you, Brian.
Thanks. Can everyone see the plan now?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Great. All right, Brian Madden from LEC Environmental representing the applicant. Proposed work for the minor modification constitutes adding a walkway off of the constructed stone patio adjacent to the guest house that minimally encroaches into the 100-foot buffer zone to the coastal dune, the coastal bank rather, in this location. The original order of conditions was included some site improvements in and around the guest house and some septic upgrade work up by the main house in the northerly portion of the lot. The guest house has been reconstructed, and so it'd only be a small portion of this stone walkway, and then they are proposing to do some landscape management activities. This bubbled in area they're proposing to replace the existing vegetation with native arrowwood shrubs and bayberry shrubs. And then there's 2 proposed trees to be removed. All that work is outside the 50-foot buffer zone to the bank. With that, I'll turn over to questions.
Thank you, Brian. And if you can you stop screen sharing at this point?
Yep.
Thank you. So if any members of the public have comments about the 40 Sacamo Road minor mod, please start typing in now. And any commissioners that have questions or comments, please raise your hand. Right, so it doesn't look like we have any questions or comments from commissioners. The public also seems quiet on this one. I know staff felt that we had everything we needed to meet a minor mod. So Brian, would you like to close tonight?
Please.
Is there a motion to issue the minor mod? Mark?
I so move.
Okay,
Second.
Linda second. All right, so by roll vote, Beal,
Aye.
Engelborg,
Aye.
Arisman, I, Golding,
Aye.
Phillips,
Aye.
Williams.
Aye.
All right, that carries unanimously. Thank you, Brian.
Thank you.
And that moves us on to 45 Sacamo Road LLC at 45 Sacamo Road, also represented by Brian Madden.
Thank you. Okay, to share the screen.
Yes, please.
Thanks. All right, Brian Madden from LEC Environmental, representing the applicant. This minor modification just simply involves some updates to the proposed driveway that enters the property. If you recall, the order of conditions was relative to some site improvements along the traveled way and then the driveway leading up into the site. The minor modification does not involve any changes or updates to the work within the right of way, the traveled way. This is simply just providing a little bit more grading detail, retaining wall detail on the driveway that minimally encroaches into the 100-foot buffer zone upon entering the site, coming in this direction, and then just this small little section, that light blue boundary is the 100-foot buffer zone. And so it's greater than 75 feet away in this location from this isolated vegetated wetland. So it's just driveway updates, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Brian. And I think you can stop screen sharing now as well. Awesome. So if there's any public comment about 45 Sacamo, please begin typing into YouTube now. And any commissioners that have questions or comments, please raise your hand. All right, so looks like we don't have any questions or comments from commissioners. Looks like the public is also quiet on this one. I know staff feels we have everything we need to issue the minor mod. Brian, I'm assuming you'd like us to issue tonight.
Please.
So is there a motion to issue the minor mod?
So moved.
Motion made by Linda. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Maureen. So by roll vote, Beal,
Aye.
Engelborg,
Aye.
Arisman, I, Golding,
Aye.
Phillips,
Aye.
Williams.
Aye.
All right, that carries unanimously.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. And that moves us on to Dupont at 47 Millbrook Road, Lot 1, represented by Brian Madden.
Thank you so much. Okay to share?
Yes, please.
Thanks. All right, everyone see the screen?
Yes, we can see it.
Thank you. Our proposed minor modification, just simply some updated house layout details for the new construction. All structural aspects are outside the 50-foot buffer zone. And it's in the same footprint, it just slightly different footprint configuration. And some additional septic upgrade details, the final locations for the septic tank and pump chamber in this location, also outside the 50-foot buffer zone. And that's simply it. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Brian. If you'd like, you can stop screen sharing. Perfect. All right, so if any members of the public have comment about 47 Millbrook, please feel free to type into the YouTube now. And any commissioners that have questions or comments, please raise your hand. Great. Looks like there's no questions from the commission. Also looks like YouTube is quiet right now for public comment. I know staff feels we have everything we need to issue the minor mod. So would somebody like to make them, or Brian, I'm assuming you'd like us to issue tonight.
Please, thank you.
So would somebody like to make a motion to issue the minor mod?
So moved.
Motion made by Linda. I'll give you the second, Seth. So by roll vote, Beal,
Aye.
Engelborg,
Aye.
Arisman, I, Golding,
Aye.
Phillips,
Aye.
Williams.
Aye.
All right, that carries unanimously. Thank you, Brian.
Thank you very much.
So that moves us on to certificates of compliance. We have Hankman Trust at 22 Squam Road. I know staff says the site is in compliance and they recommend issuing the certificate with no ongoing conditions. I don't know if commissioners had questions about what they saw in the application for this one. Or
I have
some,
to recuse from this one. This is an old project of mine.
okay, thank you, Linda. Seth,
Move to issue.
is there a second? Seconded by Maureen. So by roll vote, Beal,
Aye.
Engelborg,
Aye.
Arisman, I, Golding,
Aye.
Phillips.
Aye.
Right, so that carries with Commissioner Williams recused. And that moves us on to Brescher at 5 Hinckley Lane. This as well, staff felt the site was in compliance and that we could issue the cert with no ongoing conditions. Are there any questions or comments from commissioners about what they saw in the packet for this one?
Mm-mm.
Nope.
And if not, would somebody like to make a motion to issue the certificate?
So moved.
I think Ian got you.
Second.
So by roll vote, Beal,
Aye.
Engelborg,
Aye.
Arisman, I, Golding,
Aye.
Phillips,
Aye.
Williams.
Aye.
All right, that carries unanimously. And that moves us on to orders of conditions. So Jeff emailed those out to us this afternoon. And we will start with 8 Walsh LLC at 8 Walsh Street. So this is the one, if you guys don't remember, from that we closed last time, where they're going up on the same footprint.
Yep.
Yeah.
Move to approve as drafted.
Perfect. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, seconded by Linda. So by roll vote, Beal,
Aye.
Engelborg,
Aye.
Arisman, I, Golding,
Aye.
Phillips,
Aye.
Williams.
Aye.
All right, that carries unanimously. And that moves us on to NIR Retail LLC at 4 Harbor Square.
I have no problem with it. Do you want me to make a motion now?
Sure, you can make a motion. I think this is pretty straightforward.
Yep, motion to approve.
Is there a second? Seth, are you seconding?
Yes.
All right, so by roll vote, Beal,
Aye.
Engelborg,
Aye.
Arisman, I, Golding,
Aye.
Phillips,
Aye.
Williams.
Aye.
All right, that carries unanimously. And that moves us
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve this one also.
the 14 Aurora Way.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next one is Sampson at 14 Aurora Way. We do have a motion to approve as drafted. Is there a second? Seth, are you giving the second?
Second.
Perfect. So by roll vote, Beal,
Aye.
Engelborg,
Aye.
Arisman, I, Golding,
Aye.
Phillips,
Aye.
Williams.
Aye.
All right, that carries unanimously. Just toggle screens. Okay, so that then moves us on to extension of orders. We have 15 Eat Fire Spring Road LLC at 15 Eat Fire Spring Road. And they are requesting 3 one-year extensions. Staff has been on site. They said it's in compliance, and their recommendation is that we could issue 3 one-year extensions. Seth?
Move to issue 3 one-year extensions.
Second.
Maureen, I think, got you, Linda, with her hand raised, so I'll give the second to Maureen. So by roll vote, Beal,
Aye.
Engelborg,
Aye.
Arisman, I, Golding,
Aye.
Phillips,
Aye.
Williams.
Aye.
All right, that carries unanimously. We are cruising on through. So that brings us to other business, approval of minutes from December 2nd. Thank you, as always, Terry, for the minutes. Does anybody have anything they'd like to amend in the minutes? And if not, is there a motion to approve as drafted?
I'm going to abstain because I wasn't at that meeting.
Okay.
Move to approve as drafted.
All right, motion made by Seth. Is there a second? Seconded by Mark. So by roll vote, Beal,
Aye.
Engelborg,
Aye.
Arisman, I, Golding,
Aye.
Phillips.
Sorry. Aye.
All right, so that carries with Commissioner Williams abstaining. That moves us on to monitoring reports. So there was a monitoring report for 24 Almanac Pond Road. If anybody has, any questions about the monitoring report, definitely feel free to send those to Jeff and staff. But if anybody has anything they'd like to discuss that they saw in there, feel free to make a comment now. Looks like not. So again, that's part of our packet. And if you have any questions, please contact staff about those. That moves us on to reports. We have crack.
Nothing to report.
Okay. CPC.
Nothing to report.
All right. NP and EDC.
Nothing to report.
There you go. So commissioners' comments.
Another well-run meeting, Madam Chairman.
Thank you, Linda. Seth.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So the Massachusetts Invasive Plant Advisory Group, or MIPAG as it's known, had its latest meeting in December, and they considered listing for invasiveness 3 different species: Scotch broom, Japanese black pine, and weeping lovegrass. Scotch broom and weeping lovegrass were listed as invasive, and Japanese black pine was listed as likely invasive. So MIPAG is an advisory group, but their advice goes to the Office of Energy and the Environment. And then if the regulatory board takes up the recommendations, those plants will eventually become part of the prohibited plant list in Massachusetts. So nothing is official yet. I don't think MIPAG has even updated their website, but they had that meeting. They presented those pieces of advice, and now it's up to the regulatory agencies in Massachusetts to decide if they'll accept those recommendations and make those species officially considered invasive species in Massachusetts.
Thank you for that update, Seth. I wish it was a quicker process to get these invasives listed. Because some of them, it just seems so obvious that they're problematic. Any other commissioners' comments? Linda?
Just a question. It's probably a stupid question. Maybe I missed something. I was kind of taken aback when I was coming down Cherry Street and looking at all that mess that was across from Old Cumberland Farms on Washington Street. It's been all mowed down all the way to the train trestle. What's the story with that? Because somebody asked me about that.
So they're doing invasive Phragmites management there, and they have the same marsh master that has done the edges of Long Pond and is
Hummock,
kind of
yeah.
actively working on Hummock Pond, is the machine working to kind of go through all of that Phragmites and try and break it down essentially.
I was wondering, when they do that in that large an area, which is fairly far away from the harbor itself and the creek, are they running the risk of taking down plants that are good when they're going after the Phragmite that aggressively?
For the most part, when we've approved the Marsh Master, it's in stands that are predominantly the invasive species.
Okay.
I don't remember off the top of my head like the different vegetation percentages on that project, but it was predominantly Phragmites. And they would have a monitoring component to make sure that native species are coming back in, or there would be a planting component involved.
Because that was my concern with it, because it was quite a swath. I don't know if Mark remembers, or I rarely remember when I was a kid even being able to see all the way to the harbor in that section. It was just stunning to me.
Yeah, I agree. It's definitely very stark right now with everything gone. But hopefully what you'd end up getting, let's say 5 years from now, is hopefully like a healthy stand of cattails in there, which would, take over instead of the invasive Phragmites. But there will be obviously a time delay before you'd get a, full vegetation return.
I do, oddly you mentioned that. I do remember a lot of cattails there when I was a kid, because they used to fascinate me. But I do remember that stand fairly close to the road, and then all the other stuff took over. So they sort of disappeared.
Yeah, so the hope is that the native vegetation will have a chance to return once you get at the aggressive Phragmites.
Well, that'll be really cool.
Yeah. And we can maybe ask Jeff for more information on this project, since you've gotten questions and it is in a very public spot, and maybe he can prepare something for this meeting. Yeah.
Cool.
Thank you for those questions. Any other commissioners' comments? All right, so I'm going to kind of rope my comments into administrator staff reports, because I'm reporting out for Jeff as well. So the first kind of comment or update, the posting for Joanne's old position closes tomorrow. So Jeff is hopeful that they'll begin reviewing applications, and we would have somebody in that position hopefully by the middle of January to at least begin taking in applications and kind of start learning the ropes. So that is on the horizon, which is good.
We have applicants. We do actually have applicants.
Yes, I think I heard there were at least 2, and that was maybe a week ago. So there's definitely applicants.
Good.
Yeah, which is good. And then my other kind of report or comment, the commission was served the SBPF appeal today. At least it was received by Jeff in the Natural Resource Office. I know I have not personally been served. I don't know about you guys, but that does start our 20-day clock on this appeal. Because of the holiday and the 20-day clock, we are hoping to maybe do an executive session next week, as we're still waiting for council that we've reached out to respond. So we didn't have enough responses realistically to have executive session tonight, but we're holding out for a few more that we're hoping will come in tomorrow and Monday, to again potentially have an executive session Tuesday or Wednesday of next week, as that is kind of an active process. So I don't know if anybody has questions for me about that, or what kind of Jeff told me we'd received. I'm happy to try and answer those. All right. So if there aren't questions about that, I guess my question to you guys is, can everybody do an executive session either Tuesday or Wednesday of next week?
Tuesday, if it's late in the day, I can't because that's HDC. Wednesday, Thursday, fine, but not Tuesday at 5 o'clock. I'm at HDC.
Okay. So how does Mark?
Monday, did you mention Monday is a possibility?
We can't do Monday because we're going to be just too late on the posting for that realistically.
Yeah, the posting would have had to been in by 2 o'clock today for Monday.
Yeah.
I'm on an airplane, pretty much traveling all day Tuesday.
Okay. So it's looking like Wednesday would probably be the better day for everybody.
I can do Wednesday from Los Angeles.
Okay.
Warm weather.
Can everybody else do Wednesday?
I'm okay Wednesday.
Well,
Maybe.
so it
I'm not
depends
sure.
what time, because we have a dinner party Wednesday. So, if you can do it at 4 or 5 and it's going to be short, otherwise I'll have to bow out.
Yeah, I think 4 or a 5 p.m. start time. So if we have conflicts, why don't we say a 4 p.m. start to hopefully.
That would work better for me. Thank you.
Okay.
That's fine with me too.
Wednesday at 4 p.m.
Okay.
And hopefully we'll have the majority of us to review whatever law firms have responded at this point to again get this process going. I believe that was it. So again, I just want to confirm we're going to settle on Wednesday at 4 p.m. for our executive session. And then just to remind everybody that our first meetings in 2022, we have January 6th and then January 27th. And then hopefully, our actual schedule will be posted for everybody online. So at this point, I don't have any more kind of reports or comments for you guys. So is there a motion to adjourn? Mark?
Second.
Make a motion to adjourn, and I ask you, actually, are we setting a record by adjourning at 5:42?
It's got to be close to one. Yeah, a
I
holiday
like
meeting.
these meetings.
Yeah,
I think your record is actually under 30 minutes.
yeah. I remember one that was like
There
30.
was one that like, but again, I think it was about this time of year. So it was like Christmas time, nobody was submitting and everybody was gone.
So I'm fine
All right, I'll
with that.
second that.
Perfect. So by roll vote, Beal,
Aye.
Engelborg,
Aye.
Arisman, I, Golding,
Aye.
Phillips,
Aye.
Williams.
Aye.
All right. So this meeting is adjourned, and I will see you all Wednesday at 4 p.m.
Actually, well done as administrator and chairman.
Well done.
We'll
Well
figure out
done.
the mistakes later, but thank you.
Okay.
Have a good night, everybody.
You
Bye-bye
too.
Good night,
all.
everyone.
Go get dinner.